I think we have seen a real success in the G20 process. We've now had 3 very, very successful summits. The first was held in Washington in November of 2008, really looking at the depths of a tremendously serious financial crisis that was rapidly evolving into a broader economic crisis. And the president decided that it would be important to convene leaders, not only to provide confidence and a sense of cooperation to the global community, but to agree a concrete set of principles that would inform economic reform going forward, and also reach agreement on some specifics and taskings to international organizations. So the question then was, who do you invite? Who should come to such a summit? There were some in Europe in particular who thought that it should be a relatively small group, say the G8 plus a few. But the president felt very strongly that we needed a more broadly representative group, not only because the impact of the financial and economic crisis was going to be felt significantly by developing countries, but also if the agreement on principles and specific action items for reform were to enjoy broad legitimacy and support and uptake after the summit, it was going to be crucial to have the participation of the developing countries, and in particular the major emerging markets. Now, the G20 had traditionally met at the level of finance ministers since 1997, since the Asian financial crisis. And after internal discussions with his advisors, the president decided to elevate the G20 forum from a finance ministers meeting to a leaders meeting. And he consulted broadly with leaders, and that view had a lot of support. And I think this administration, like the last administration, has made clear that for an agreement to be environmentally effective and politically acceptable, it will entail commitments by all major economies, differentiated though they may be. The second element is finding creative financing mechanisms to foster the deployment of clean technology in the developing world. You know, I have read a lot about, oh, the G20 is eclipsing the G8 and the G8 is moribund. I don't agree with that view. Over the last half dozen, 10 years, the mandate of the G8 has evolved, in fact, away from economic issues and has focused on poverty alleviation, education, public health, water, the basket of problems that you need check writers to help solve. I think the rate rise by the Reserve Bank was greeted so positively because it is an early indication that we are beginning to turn the corner. Of course, getting the precise balance right between fiscal and monetary policy in any country is very, very difficult. It's something that, you know, certainly the United States is struggling with, a number of European countries are struggling with, but I think the rate rise was greeted positively for that reason. If you ask me, you know, are we completely out of the woods yet? I don't think so. I don't think so. I mean, the decision was taken quite recently in Pittsburgh that now is the time to prepare to exit, to prepare to wind down stimulus, but not the time to exit. I think it is a very difficult task to change traditional habits, both habits of consumers and habits of governments. But the fact that these governments came together and said, yes, I understand that the path we have been on is unsustainable and we need to change. And I am prepared to commit to change and subject myself to a review process by which you hold me accountable. I regard that as an enormously positive first step.